Hey, TJ here, Bloodline Sports, November 29th. Let's go over a few things. This will all be on YouTube, so you can watch it in its entirety. Let's start off with the first annual Bloodline Sports Arizona High School preseason All-Star game. We got about three-fourths of the 40 players rostered up, agreed to, committed. We're still looking at Phoenix College, looking at January 9th, which would be a Tuesday night. I believe the JUCOs go back on the 10th. I don't think they're allowed to practice after their break until the 10th, which is great. Talked to a couple of the coaches today, so they plan on being there. It's going to be awesome. A great opportunity to get these guys in front of some eyeballs, like we said, and it's another it's a reward. It's rewarding them for their hard work and their past accomplishments and what they're going to do in the future. So we're real excited with that. I can't get situated. Sorry about that. And the game will be, our main sponsor will be Acid Rainwater. Check them out. They're blowing up, man. Acid Rainwater, B12 infused water. You got to do it if you're an athlete. Helps recovery, helps your mental brain. Good stuff. Check it out. I've talked about it before. Look and see if you're B12 deficient. You need that B12 in you. Again, for good recovery and good mental awareness and no sugars, all that good stuff. Really cool looking can, cool logo. We got some of our athletes on their website. We'll get more. So we're excited about that. So they're going to be sponsoring that game. We can't wait. Got shirts for the guys and bag tags. We got some coaches out there. We'll have some major league scouts out there, and it's going to be a great time. So we'll keep you posted on anything that changes, but that's what we're looking. We still need some catchers, and we need arms, of course. Pitchers, you're only going to throw one inning to six batters at the most. I know a lot of your coaches, even your personal trainers, that kind of have you down, especially December. So January 9th, get out there, throw 15 pitches, have a good outing, get your shirt, be an all-star, and then get ready for your MLK weekend, which I know is big. So we're excited about that. Again, stay tuned, and we'll keep you posted. Speaking of Acid Rainwater, we have our September, November, December Acid Rainwater National Athletes of the Month. We're proud, and that'll be on Acid Rainwater website. And, of course, these guys get cases of water sent to them from Jason and the boys and girls at Acid Rainwater. They're out of California, up and coming. You got to check them out. But our September athlete is Caleb Turner. He is the only senior on this list, and he is an interior lineman at Halls High School in Tennessee. He's class 24, like I said, monster, man-child. All three of these guys will be playing on Saturdays without a doubt. Our October athlete is Camden Goforth, McMinn County High School, Tennessee as well, class of 26. Talk about a man-child. He's like 6'6", 280, and he's 15, 14, I don't know, 15. But watch the videos on this guy if you can get on Huddle or even just follow him on his X and his social media. It's incredible. And then we got Cameron Melvin, our November athlete out of Cleveland High School, just 2 counties over where I grew up in North Carolina. Go Cameron. Like I said, these guys they're talking to, I know Cameron was at Clemson a while ago. I think he went to Notre Dame. All these guys are getting all these visits. They're top tier athletes. So very, very cool. All right. Subject of today's video, vision. Vision in baseball. Now, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here. We all know, we've talked about hitting. Hitting is the greatest thing to do in all sports, right? We changed that. We don't say it's the hardest thing to do anymore. It's the greatest thing to do in all sports. Got to check out this book. You can probably, I got it on my local library card. I got the audio book. I can listen to it on my computer. I think you can get it for $6-7 used on Amazon. It's called The Sports Gene by David Epstein, and he's got a couple books out there that are really cool. He is an ex-athlete that turned into a scientist, and he wanted to do research on, is the elite athlete born that way? Can that elite athlete be made? The small parts of the book I've read. I'm still waiting on my version. I don't like listening to it for 10 hours on my computer. I'd rather get the copy and read it. But from what I'm getting from his research, like most scientific research gives you, is when you're going in for an argument, kind of gives you an answer for both sides. But we all know that there's freaks out there that are born that way, and they're out there that never made it, right? That didn't. So LeBron James, yes, freak, genetic freak. Did he work? Absolutely. So that's why he is who he is. Michael Jordan, late bloomer, born that way, though, in my opinion. I mean, the dude hit professional baseball. He didn't hit it greatly, but he's hit it. Again, and we're talking about this, but so again, check the article out. But what I want to talk about is one particular part of what they did the research of vision with Major League Baseball players, and this is going to blow your mind. Okay, in 1992, so this doctor Luis Rosenbaum, who actually is from here, he was with the Phoenix Cardinals prior to them becoming the Arizona Cardinals in 1992. So I think Phoenix Cardinals came here in '88. I think it was my junior year in high school. I was at the first game. They played the Cowboys on Monday night, Sun Devil Stadium. But anyways, he was the ophthalmologist, eye doctor for the Phoenix Cardinals. He, along with David Epstein, went to the Dodgers facility, and they were able to get the entire Los Angeles Dodgers major league and farm system, all the players, every single player in the Dodgers system, and they were checking their vision. Now, when the doctor showed up, he had most eye charts test down to down, which they actually say high. So if you're 20/20 and then you go to 20/15, technically they say that's higher vision than 20/20, even though it's lower, but I guess a little bit like golf, right? So the chart that they had went down to 2015. And this is the crazy part that'll blow your mind, is every single position player for the Dodgers throughout the organization tested at 2015. Okay, if you don't know what 20/20 is, 2015, 2012, so Ted Williams was supposedly 2010, one of the greatest hitters of all time. What that means is if he's 2010 at 20 feet, he can see what most people can see at 10 feet. He can see the clearness of an object at 20 feet, what most of us would see if we have 20/20 at 10 feet. So he's got a 10-foot head start. That's pretty cool when you're hitting a baseball, right? Now, 2015 is right now the average. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so what he did is he wanted to go back the next year, and he brought an eye chart that went down to 28. So now this is someone who can see something at 20 feet as clearly as the rest of us see something at 8 feet away. 28 is optimum vision. It doesn't get any better. You can't record it at any better than 28. So he took that chart back and he went through, and now he's with Tommy Lasorda. This is 1992 when he went back. And Tommy Lasorda said, is there anybody I should look at? Can you predict who can be a great Major League Baseball player based? And this was solely based on the vision data. He didn't have any statistics in front of him because he was just an eye doctor, right? He didn't know batting averages and slugging and all that. So he had none of that on him. And he told him that a guy that was a 6th-round pick in 1988 out of UCLA, first baseman, his name was Eric Karros. Eric Karros went on that year to win Rookie of the Year, and he said he had about a 2011 vision. And he played 13 years in the big leagues. So he goes back the next year, and this is all in the book. This is just blows my mind. Tommy Lasorda says, I think you got lucky. Karros won Rookie of the Year. Who else should I be looking at? He says, well, the guy with the best vision in your program. Now, this guy was a 62nd round pick. His name was Mike Piazza. Piazza, as we know, came on to be the greatest hitting catcher in the history of baseball. And he was like 29, something like 29 vision. Now, right now, the average baseball player right now is about 2011, 2012. And in my own research, it says it's going to be really hard to play at a higher level if you don't have 2015 vision. Again, not to be a Debbie Downer, but you guys have known that I've always stressed get your eyes checked every year. This is the time. High school season's right around the corner. Your college season's right around the corner. Go get your eyes tested. Okay, at least, I mean, you got to be 2020, right? Now, some of you are 2015. Some of you are 2012. Go get checked. If you don't know what your vision is, and just for the mental part of it, if you go get your eyes tested this week, next month, and the doctor comes back and says you're 2012, are you feeling a little better about your chances at playing at a higher level? Absolutely you are. If you find out you're 2030, get it fixed. At least you can get it to 2020. Now, I've been arguing and looking into for years. Can you go get a 2010 contact lens? I'll guarantee you can. If you have the right money, right? I guarantee you there's ways to get it. But if anything, give yourself a chance at 2020. Again, not to be a Debbie Downer. I got another thing to talk about, fix that. Looks like you need to be about 2015 to play at a high level, Division I level, professional level. Think about it. If that's 2015, you got a 5-foot start on the rest of the population. Now, speaking of that, 2015 vision is 1% of the population, the world population. I'm sorry, it might be 2010. I wrote all my notes down, but you're talking 1% of the population at eyesight at that level. Now, the other thing we want to talk about, there are things that we can do to improve our vision, not our vision, but enhance our ability. The bottom line is athletes, we already have better cognitive and hand-eye reactions. The other part of the study is we've all done some of these, or most of us have done these studies where we're reacting to a buzzer. When we see a light, we hit a button. Doesn't matter if you're an athlete or a doctor or an architect or whatever. Most of us are right like 0.2 seconds. We all react about the same. But as athletes, we are better at catching stuff and anticipating. That's the big thing when you see something moving. So when we talk about hitting, a lot of hitters will talk about seeing shapes. Okay, the rising fastball, which it doesn't rise, but it stays on plane, right? The four-seamer. Okay, that's why they always talk about it. It doesn't matter if you throw 97 to 101. If you throw it there every time, the big leaguers are going to hit it because it's easier to predict where that ball is going to end up in the hitting zone. So when we talk about a nasty slider, a big curveball, a two-seamer that might tail one way, tail the other way, drop. But as we see those shapes, and now that with the technology is you can, if you're worth millions, but if you get to that level, you'll be able to see replications of, let's say, a Maddox or a Johnson or a Schilling, or I'm dating myself, but you can see their pitch. They can simulate that pitch. The more that we see those shapes and anticipate those shapes, our eyesight doesn't have to be 2010 like Ted Williams. If we can see and predict where that ball is going to end up in your hitting zone, in your contact point, right? So one of the drills that I'm still able to do at 52, not as good as I used to, but I had done this many, many years ago, and I work with some of the guys that, and doing it is, we only do it with flip, is the hitter's going to be here looking at my arm as I go to flip the ball. And he's going to see the ball right out of my hand and keep his eyes there and hit. So he's not going to track the ball to hit it. Now, one reason we do this is we'll never see a 90-mile-an-hour fastball and see the bat hit the ball. It's not scientifically possible. Second, it gets us in a way that we can see the start of the ball, anticipate where it's going to finish, and still hit it. Another good thing you can do when you guys are warming up playing catch, especially, working long toss, and then as the guys are getting closer to you, see your partner throw the ball and then look away and catch it. Anticipate the throw and work, obviously get it closer to the last minute, and then try to see how far out you can see that flight of the ball, and then just catch it. Like look over to your friend whatever, little things to work on stuff like that if we're not going to have 2015, 2010 vision. But again, go get your eyes checked. I've been doing this and stressing this for years. Now, I haven't been posting stuff like this for 10 years, but in the last several years, I have posted, and it's in my book that I wrote. And you can get on Amazon, go get the book. It's $7. It's really good. Um, and it talks about every year before the season starts, go get your eyes checked. So I thought that was unbelievably interesting to me. I had no idea. I knew that 2010 is sharpshooter style vision. Combat fighter pilots have that vision. To think of 1% of the population has vision like that. And at 2015, you're still, again, if you're 1, 2, 3% of the population that has vision like that, and to think that an entire baseball organization has that vision, so there's obviously no coincidence there. And then when I find out today, when you Google it, what's the average vision of a Major League Baseball player? Somewhere around 2011, 2012. That's elite vision. So again, it doesn't mean, Bregman, Acuna, they might be 2020. Again, they're predicting shapes. They're seeing shapes. They're anticipating shapes. The book does talk about you have to be able to kind of predict the futures, and that's what I'm getting at. Is you see the ball released, and you have a pretty good idea where it's going to end up. Think about it. If we don't ever see the bat hit the ball at a high level, that's what we're doing anyways, right? So don't get discouraged. But if you go get checked and you have that great vision, more power to you, right? Hey, have a great weekend. Get ready for some awesome football, some championship football. Stay tuned for more information on our All-Star game, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.